LeBron James is in the midst of his 6th season with the Los Angeles Lakers. That run includes 3 playoff appearances with 2 conference finals and 1 championship. They won in a bubble in Orlando back in 2020 when COVID was going on. LeBron secured his 4th Finals MVP during that run. He also broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record and has been an all-star in each season as a Laker. But is all that enough to warrant a statue for King James outside of Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles, California? I have my thoughts, but before I give them to you, so does one Gilbert Arenas, who had this to say when asked on Nightcap with my man Shannon Sharp about LeBron James. Listen up.
Do you believe the Lakers will build a statue for LeBron?
If his career started right now, hell no. He don't have enough accolades in the Laker uniform.
He needs another title?
Yeah, the closest statue we have with that was Shaq. Shaq 8 years, was that 3 rings? You know, so it's gonna be hard to put him in there with 6 years, 8,000 points, 1 championship, 6 All-Stars. That's not good. That's not good enough for a statue in Los Angeles.
Right.
They can just put his shoes. They can just start with the shoes. they can just start with the bronze out there.
Recently, Kobe Bryant became the 7th Lakers legend commemorated with a statue in Star Plaza, joining Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Elgin Baylor, announcer Chick Hearn, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Jerry West. LeBron has very strong cases for statues in Cleveland and Miami, but Laker fans aren't convinced LeBron deserves a place among their legends. And I'm here to tell you, either argument can be made. Now, I'm of the mindset, no, hell no. Why? Because for me, he hasn't been a Laker long enough. He isn't a lifelong Laker. The likelihood is that when he goes into the Hall of Fame as a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, it will not be as a Laker. And when I think Lakers, I think Kareem, and I think Magic, and I think Kobe, and I think Shaq. That's how I think. Now, if you want to make an argument for LeBron James, you can sit up there and say Elgin Baylor, well, you know, I mean, he retired the year they won that title. You can say Jerry West went to the finals 9 times, only won 1 championship. LeBron just has as many championships in Los Angeles than the silhouette himself, Jerry West. You can make that argument, but let's call it what it is. When we think of Los Angeles, when we think of Tinseltown, when we think about the Los Angeles Lakers, we think about lifers. Guys that are associated and synonymous with being Lakers forever. In basketball lore, that is not what you get when you think about LeBron James. And that is the reason that I would say no to LeBron James having a statue erected on his behalf in Star Plaza outside of the Crypto.com Arena, a name, by the way, that I still can't stand. I miss it when it was called the Staples Center. I just do. The Crypto.com Arena is just a turnoff. It's boring as hell. But that is just me. Moving on from that, though, there are a handful of stars around the NBA that are deserving of statues. So come with me right now. Let's take a look at who they are in the humble opinion of yours truly, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen's A-list. Stephen's A-list. This is my A-list of folks that deserve a statue right now. And I want to make sure, I'm going to be clear. I'm going to give you an honorable mention when all of this is said and done. But for right now, here we're going to go with it. At number 5, give it to me. Bam! Giannis Antetokounmpo. Do you even give a damn about Milwaukee if Giannis is not there? Have you even thought about Milwaukee if Giannis is not there? Brother walking around averaging 30, 10, and 5. He's the league MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP, absolutely positively phenomenal. And oh, by the way, even though he had Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and others on the squad, everything comes and goes with Giannis, okay? And that is why I put him at number 5 on the list. He ain't top 4, though. Give me top 4 right here, please. Give it to me. Bam! Clay and Draymond. Ladies and gentlemen, before you sit up there and you look at that as sacrilegious as you may look at it, let me remind you, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 titles in 6 years. 4 titles in a 6-year span. That is what those 2 brothers have helped pull off in the Bay Area. Initially at the Oracle and ultimately at Chase Center in San Francisco, California. The bottom line is Klay Thompson. If we're going to talk about Dennis Rodman, think about the elite defensive player that is Draymond Green. I'm not saying he was better than Dennis Rodman. I'm saying that his defense is obviously a linchpin for the Golden State Warriors. And Klay Thompson, don't get it twisted. If Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God ever created, wasn't his teammate, we'd be looking at Klay Thompson and we'd be talking about him more because he is, at least before this season, one of the top 5 shooters in the history of basketball. So let's not lose out on Klay and what Klay Thompson means to that franchise, okay? He ain't top 3, though. Let me give you top 3 right here. Give it to me right now, please. Bam. Bam! LeBron James in Miami. 4 straight trips to the NBA Finals, back-to-back titles, clearly the best player on the team that included D. Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, and others. And the bottom line is this. You go to South Beach and you do what LeBron James did. That was the prime of his career. He's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's one of the greatest players in NBA history. And Miami only had 1 title on his resume, delivered by Dwayne Wade in 2006 with Shaquille O'Neal as a sidekick at that particular juncture of his career, with Alonzo Mourning being a defensive whiz that he was. But it was about D. Wade. They were down 0-2, and D. Wade goes berserk and averages 37 over the final 4 games of that NBA Finals. Since that time, Miami didn't matter until LeBron James came along. And then they had 4 straight years, and people said they were as popular as the Beatles. Maybe they were the Beatles of basketball, rather. This is what they were saying about them, because LeBron James was there. Of course, you have to erect a statue, okay, in Miami for LeBron James. But they ain't top 2, though. Give me number 2, please, on the list. Whoa! LeBron James in Cleveland. It's only 1 title, but ladies and gentlemen, do you know that the last time the city of Cleveland or that Northern Ohio area had a championship was when Jim Brown was running the football in 1965 for them? They went 52 years without capturing a championship until LeBron James delivered the goods. In any sport, that means baseball, that means football. It never happened. You know what the city of Cleveland was most popular for at one point? Don King, the boxing promoter. That's what it was, because that's where he's from. That's what we're talking about here. But LeBron James came along, he changed all of that. LeBron James deserves a statue in 2 cities. That is Cleveland and that is Miami. Yes, he does, just not LA. You know who number 1 is, right? Give it to me right here, please. The one and only Steph Curry, the greatest shooter God has ever created, one of the top-selling jerseys in the business, a role model personified, quintessential role model, leader, extraordinary shooter, the greatest ever. 4 championships, 6 years, NBA Finals MVP, 2-time league MVP, and never played anywhere because longevity matters. And when you're with that organization for as many years as he's been there, doing what he's done, with them not even thinking and dreaming of him ever wearing another uniform, of course you erect a statue for somebody like him. I just find it hard to believe you're going to do it for him without these 2 as well, when these 3 are attached to the hip. Honorable mention in all of this is Nikola Jokic, the reigning defending NBA champion, league MVP, NBA Finals MVP. I know all about Nikola Jokic. Let me tell you, as much as I love him, as much as I respect him, as much as I will openly acknowledge he belongs on this list, remember how they couldn't get over the hump because Jamal Murray went down those few years because of his nasty injury those couple of years? Denver couldn't do anything because Jokic didn't have him. When he or Jamal Murray are not on the court together, they're a 500 team. When they're on the court together, this season alone, they're like 35-11, somewhere around that area. This is what they do to each other. This is what they do for one another. Jamal Murray is that important to Jokic. Who did Giannis have? Yes, Middleton could play. Yes, Jrue Holiday could play. But who was the definitive person that you could rely upon on a night-in, night-out basis the way Jokic could rely on Jamal Murray? That's the difference. Not taking anything away from Jokic. I know how great he is. And by the way, he's been in the same franchise. And they should erect a statue for him, too. I'm just saying, when you think about this top 5 list, I'd put Giannis on it before him, and I got Clay and Draymond, who are 4-time champions. He's got 1. That's my list. This is my A list. I hope you can respect it.